Welcome to Ladies Kickin Ass, the no BS podcast for fierce, unstoppable women in the service industry. We're here to talk bold moves, big wins, and real talk on what it takes to build a life and a business you love. Let's get fired up. Today we're going to talk about giving yourself a down break because mamas, I know that y'all got kids that are coming home from school, and so we're going to have a conversation about being kind to yourself this summer. I love to record this podcast every single springtime when the kids get out of school because although I've done it for 3 years in a row now, people love to share these podcasts because oftentimes when the thought of getting out of school comes up, we often think, oh my gosh, now what am I going to do to entertain 1 child, 2 child, 7 children? I know it can be very difficult, and I know a lot of you are working your asses off building a business, and it feels like you have to push pause in order to do both. So I would love to brainstorm with you today on some ideas that you can do to be able to do both of your business and be a badass mom this summer without the guilt. It's possible to do this. We just have to be super intentional, and that's what we're going to chat about today. So, first and foremost, get a calendar together. This is what I do every year. It's the 1st of May coming up here real quick when I'm recording this, and I get together a calendar. And I know exactly what we have planned for the summer, if we've got a vacation planned, if we're going somewhere, if there's big events going on at work that are non-negotiable I have to be at, and I put them on the calendar. So now we have set in stone on the calendar exactly the big things that are going on. So maybe you've got a family reunion this summer that you're traveling to. Maybe, little Johnny's getting his braces off on this particular day. Maybe your daughter has something coming up with high school that she has to do during the summertime. We put every big event, birthdays, anniversaries, celebrations on the calendar, okay? Lay them all out in front of you so you can see it, okay? We got the day we're getting out of school. We got the day we're going back to school. We've got it all documented, right? Then we're going to sit down and we're going to look at what is going on inside of our business. We're going to pick out the most important things that only you can do. Now, I know some of you are at that point where you're doing everything. You're HR, you answer the phones, you're running the office, you're doing everything. You're the janitor. I know, I laugh because I've been there. I understand the struggles that you're in. But I would highly encourage you, write down the things that only you can handle. So let's say you're still handling the financial part of your business, but someone else can answer the phones. Somebody else can definitely be the janitor. Somebody else can definitely run pickup marketing flyers from the printer. Somebody can definitely do probably half the tasks that you're doing during the day. Let's be real honest. Let's figure out a way to either put them on pause for a couple of months, delegate them to someone else. It is okay to give someone a little bit extra temporary responsibility at your business. And then lots of times, if you have created a great culture and you have a good relationship with your team, they're more than happy to help you do that. Especially, I find that when I explain to them what my goals are for the summer, they're very apt to help me with those things. So definitely talk to your team. And if it's something that you need to delegate, even part-time for a little while, it's something that you want to do so that you can keep that inner peace and still show up the best you can in both places. So in order to show up the best you can at work, you need to highly focus on the things that you need to do only. Put those on a specific day on your calendar. I know a lot of you are really great at time blocking. Let's say you're actually doing the work of your company. Well, let's block what that time out is. If you have to be there from 8 to 4 every day because that's what you have to do for your job or for your company, then let's put that on the calendar. Let's also sit down with our kids after you've put those things on because let's be honest, we still got to pay the bills during the summertime, usually more bills because the kids are at home and the pantry's open, and sometimes we're not home too. So it can get a little expensive. I get it. I have 5 kids at my house during the summertime, and it's crazy. A box of granola bars appears one night and disappears by noon the next day. So I totally get it. And I'm very much simplifying this for a reason. I want you to take it just for face value. Don't attach the mama heart behind it. And what I mean with that is don't tie emotion into this. There's shit we still got to get done. And so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how much time it's going to take us to get those things done so that we can show up in a different capacity for our families this summer. Okay? So now we've got that laid out on the calendar. Now we're going to sit down with the kids and we're going to ask them what they would like to do this summer. Is it important I just had this conversation with my kids. I'm going to jump back here a minute. I just had this conversation with my kids. My son is going to be done with 6th grade. He's 11. And my daughter is 15 and she's finishing her sophomore year. So neither one of them can drive yet. So I'm still the mom Uber all summer long, right? So I had the conversation with them. Would you like it more if I go to work early in the morning, because I have the flexibility to do this, or would you rather me be here in the morning when you wake up and I work in the afternoons? And of course, due to the age of my children, they were like, no, go in the morning, because they want to be able to, sleep till 10 o'clock in the morning or 11. And that's okay. They're on summer vacation. They can do that. So what my goal is after having this conversation with them is that I am going to go to work at 6 a.m. I'm going to work till noon. And my goal is to do that just 4 days a week this year during the summer break that we have. Now in Arizona, we have year-round school. So we really only have like a 7.5-week break. So this isn't such a big deal as some of you that I know have 3 full months off. I realize it can be a little bit delicate and everybody's schedules are different. So these are only suggestions to try to make your life a little bit easier. Okay. So I am going to work 6 to noon, 4 days a week. I'm not going to go into the office at all on Fridays. And then I have my entire afternoons to focus on passion projects I want to do if I'm at the house and the kids are busy doing something else. Or I can work on spending more time with my kids and doing fun activities with them. So I did try to break it up to the point where we could actually spend more time together. I know a lot of kids end up sitting at home by themselves all summer, and my big goal is to try to deter that as much as possible. So these are just ideas. But it's very important to include your kids or your spouse in the conversation so everyone is on the same page. Something that we do that my kids really like a lot is that we have what's the plan for tomorrow conversation every single night before we all go to bed. What's on the schedule for tomorrow? What are you doing at school tomorrow, Cash? What are you doing at school tomorrow, Ainsley? This is what mom's game plan is for tomorrow. They know what is on my schedule. They know today it's after school time. I have somebody picking them up from school. I'm at the studio recording a podcast, but they know where I'm at. And when we have that open conversation, then there's no confusion as to when's mom going to come home. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, I know sometimes that we can tend to put our family on the back burner, meaning they're always going to be there. It's okay if I take another meeting, if I take another call. It's okay if I stay and work with Susie for an extra hour because my kids are at home, they're not going nowhere, and it's fine. I would really challenge you to stick to your schedule as much as you can. Now, I know shit hits the fan sometimes and we have to be flexible. But if you can do that, we're really building confidence and trust with the kids knowing that you're just as important, they are just as important on the schedule as anything else is at work. In addition to all of this, before you put that calendar away, you must put on that calendar time for you. I know this can be a tricky one, and this is the one that we brush off more than any other thing on our calendar. because we say, oh, we can do it later. So I have time to sit down and journal and really think about this project that I want to put out, except Tim really needs my help right now. So I'll just do it after I put the kids to bed. So you're sacrificing sleep to get a project done because you opted to do something else. And when we continue to keep breaking those dates or those appointments that we have with ourselves, we start to lose trust in the fact that we're going to get things done. And what we're trying to do all the time is build that trust. When I say I'm showing up for myself, I'm showing up for myself. If you put some alone time on your calendar, I don't care if it's going for a walk, getting a massage, going to get your nails done, or going to a movie by yourself. Oh, that's lovely. Just do it. Make sure that you follow through with that because you are your most important investment. I know it's really hard to think about that. And I know it is very weird that I say that after I just put that on the last thing on the calendar. But it's also a thing that we can kind of manipulate around other hard scheduled items. I know that we run service businesses, and it drives me crazy when I hear podcasts that say, you first, like you go to the gym and you do this and you do this and you do this, and then you go to work. And I'm like, my phones are ringing off the hook in Arizona by 6:30 a.m. because people are having a septic emergency, and I can't wait till 9 a.m. to go to work. So we have to kind of do a delicate dance. But we can't forget about ourselves. It's really important that we don't forget about ourselves. Also, on top of the calendar, make sure you are checking in with yourself. This is something that I love the Growth Day app about, and I'll be sure to put that in the show notes, is there's a beautiful way of being able to kind of prioritize yourself through the day. So you can get a little personal development in the morning, you get a video on something cool that you can work on with your mindset. You can give yourself 3 things you want to work on that day. And you can actually sit down and journal about how you felt the day before and what energy you want to bring in to this new day you're about to start. Journaling is something that I would love if you could figure out a way to give yourself even 10 minutes in the morning to write your intentions for the day. You will see a massive difference. Sometimes we literally live by the reminders that pop up on our phones with the stuff that we've buried in our calendars. And oftentimes it's not even the most important things we need to be working on. So spend that time to be able to discover that, because the last thing I want you to experience, Mama, during summertime is the burnout. You feel like you're doing too much. And I know this sounds like a lot, but when it is scheduled and it's prioritized and it's all written down, it leaves no room for things to get crazy and chaotic if you're able to stick to the schedule as much as possible, with some flexibility, because we all know how life works. But something that we really want to do is just prioritize those tasks. If it's something with your business that really can last till the fall time to start, or if there's not someone you can delegate it to, definitely put it in the parking lot. You know, the parking lot is this amazing place where all of my killer ideas live. And someday I'm going to go there and I'm going to pull out a new one, and then I work on that. And if it's not something that's the focus of what I'd like to achieve at that point in time, sometimes I have to put it back in the parking lot. Summertime is that time to take some of the projects off your plate, because if you have one child or multiple children, it's a whole nother level of dedication to the kids. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, what about their dad? Where is he in this situation? If you have a father present with the children, definitely incorporate him in that and share the responsibilities if that's possible. I don't have that. So I talk about this as if I am the one in charge of putting all this stuff together, because that's what I do. But I also want to come at that angle because I know a lot of you are single mothers and you struggle with the same things too. So let's be kind to each other. And if you feel like you are in a place where you're like, oh my God, this summer is totally kicking my ass and I'm just getting down on myself and I feel like I'm falling apart, that's what the Badass Inner Circle community is all about. Reach out, get involved, and we'd love for you to be able to have the best summer season you've ever had with your kids. That's a wrap, ladies. Now go out there, own the hell out of your dreams, and keep kicking ass. Want to keep this fire going? Connect with us on social. All the links are in the show notes. And if you're ready for a sisterhood that levels up life and business, be sure to check out Badass Inner Circle. Stay bold, stay fierce, and be unapologetically you. I'll catch you on the next episode. Let's do this.